Players are back from break and the blinds are up to 2,500, 5,000 with a 500 ante. Rubber chicken alert!
Come on, Guile, play a hand or go home and be a family man.
Folded around to Emil Patel. He passes. Gruesom's out. Talal Shakerchi getting aggro on the button with 8-4. David Williams has king-8 of diamonds in the small blind.
If David really wants to make the money, I think a fold is totes my goats. Okay, or he could call.
Still hand for hand.
Mohsen Charania.
I'm really not a big fan of this call by David Williams here. They're very close to the bubble, if not on the exact bubble. Shakerchi, his open is a little bit wide, but it's okay because he's got a huge stack and we're near the bubble. With Williams, I think he needs to be 3-betting or folding, and usually folding.
This seems like a super straightforward throw it the fuck away spot. I don't know why on the bubble with 30-some-odd blinds he's calling. I mean, if you're going to play it, you have to 3-bet it, I agree.
And Shakerchi's a big stack. He's a huge stack. This is just going to put Williams in a lot of bad situations, as we will see.
This is the beginning of the spew.
Folds the big blind, so heads up to the flop. Second pair for both players. Williams checks.
And this is a situation where a c-bet isn't always necessary.
Or Talal does c-bet 15,000.
This board does tend to hit a cold caller's range pretty hard.
Williams check raises to 36k. And Talal quickly calls.
David Williams keeps picking on Shakerchi.
I think this is a perfectly fine c-bet by Shakerchi. It's pretty standard for the most part. He's got a big stack. It's the bubble. He has something. It's a wet board. The check raise by Williams makes no sense at all to me. I cannot understand it.
Williams later says that he's raising because he thought he had the best hand. Now, a lot of people might think that's a good reason to raise. When I have the best hand, I'm supposed to put in another bet. That's true on the river. On the flop, it's really not true in this exact spot because he can get blown off his hand by a lot of worse hands like draws. And he can also just get a lot more money in the pot out of position, where he's now giving himself almost a 1-to-1 stack-to-pot ratio on the bubble.
Yeah, he makes it incredibly hard to play this hand on turn and river if Shakerchi doesn't fold, which Shakerchi doesn't.
And Shakerchi ain't having it.
10 of spades on the turn, a flush draw for Talal. Williams checks.
Maybe giving up now. And since Talal did bet the flop, this is the perfect turn for him to keep firing.
This is a pretty interesting card here for a lot of reasons. Number one reason being obviously any 9 makes a straight now. Number 2 reason being so many 2 pairs come in. Number 3 reason being now there's 2 flush draws.
Yeah, all those things. I think Williams is giving up on the hand here, so he's checking to fold. Shakerchi checks also because he has showdown value and he picks up a draw, but I think it's not the right play. I think he's supposed to move Williams in. He can fold out better hands and end the hand as well, and he has outs if somehow he gets called, which is almost never going to happen because there's so few 9s that David is going to check here because of all the flush draws and the way the hand's played out so far.
I agree. Shakerchi set out to play this hand as a bubble bully. This is a great opportunity to follow through with that plan. It may not be an optimal play at all times, but specifically on the bubble against a shorter stack, I think it's all right.
Nope, he checks behind. And binks a 4 on the river. Williams checks.
Going for value would be pretty thin, but against an opponent who's looser than the laws of physics and the movie Gravity, I'd say it's probably the right move.
Talal bets his 2 pair, 42,000.
Oh, David.
And Williams calls.
For a guy who really wants to make the money, David Williams is making more hero calls than the guy who runs the bat signal. Go Talal, it's your birthday. Do people still say that?
Well, he's up to 673,000 and is now among the tournament chip leaders.
Feels like this river contains 2 confounding decisions, one by each player, Williams being the more confounding of the 2.
Yeah, I mean, the Williams, I think, gets it confused because Talal makes such a crazy thin, I guess, value bet on the river.
It's one of the thinner value bets I can remember seeing. This board is so crazy wet. 5-6 just got there, by the way.
Yeah.
If Williams didn't have a 9, which we can eliminate from his range a lot of the time.
He doesn't have a 9.
But Williams is check calling so many better 2-pair combinations on this river because he's never betting for value with that out of position.
And there's so few 1-pair hands that he's going to call with, although he happens to call with this hand, which seems crazy. It's Williams is basically down to calling with. You would think if you're Shakerchi, the value range that Williams is going to call with is a jack, and there aren't very many jacks that you can beat. Most jacks are 2 pairs or straights at this point.
Right.
Especially jacks that are going to flat
It's just
pre-flop.
very odd. And Williams, I think, tricks himself into calling by assuming that Shakerchi is more polarized than he is, meaning that he thinks Shakerchi has a completely whiff flush draw, like an ace-high type of hand, ace-deuce of clubs or something like that. Or Shakerchi has a super nutty hand like a 9, and he usually doesn't have a 9 because Shakerchi didn't bet the turn.
Yeah. I mean, I understand on one level, Williams looks at the board and says, this guy just is never betting anything worse than probably a set here, and he has almost no sets in his range except maybe pocket 10s. I guess he could have 5-6 and gotten there with the straight also. There's not much else he can have.
Yeah, just read that one wrong, I suppose.
Yeah.